If you're here, it probably means this question has shown up in your life too. Before we begin, take a moment. This isn't a video to rush through. It's an idea meant to be understood slowly because it shows up quietly in real life. Let's talk about a very real problem. Most people don't fail because they don't act. They fail because they carry the outcome with them while acting. You can feel it when something matters. A job interview, a business decision, a conversation you don't want to mess up. Your body shows up, but your mind is already living in the future. That tension changes how you speak, how you listen, how you decide, and most people think this tension is normal. It isn't. This exact problem is addressed in the Bhagavad Gita, not as philosophy, but as psychology. On the battlefield during the great war of Kurukshetra, between Pandavas and Kauravas, Arjun is not confused about what to do. He knows his duty. His problem is internal. He is overwhelmed by consequences, by outcomes, by what his actions might lead to. And Krishna doesn't tell him to stop acting. He tells him something far more practical. Do your work, but don't let the result occupy your mind while you're doing it. In other words, attachment to outcome distorts action. This wasn't spiritual advice. It was performance advice. Ancient systems observed something very clearly. The moment the result becomes more important than the action, clarity collapses. That's when people rush, freeze, overcorrect, or burn out. You see this today everywhere. Think about sending an important message. You write it carefully. You send it. Then the waiting starts. You replay the words. You imagine responses. You feel uneasy, even though nothing has happened. The action is complete. But mentally, you're still trapped inside it. That is exactly what Bhagavad Gita was pointing to. Not destiny, not detachment from life, but mental entanglement after action. So what does the ancient solution look like in modern life? It's simple, but not easy. You separate responsibility from result. Your responsibility is to prepare honestly, to act with integrity, and always stay in present. The result's responsibility is to teach you, to adjust you, and to refine your next action. It does nothing more. Here's a practice that comes directly from this principle. When you finish something important, a meeting, a decision, a conversation, pause and say to yourself, my action is complete. Not, it went well. Not, I hope this works. Just, my action is complete. This is the modern translation of detachment. At first, this feels uncomfortable because the mind is used to clinging. But with repetition, something changes. You stop bleeding energy into imagined futures. You become calmer under pressure. Your actions become cleaner. This is why people with experience often look relaxed, not because they care less, but because they've learned where their control ends. Attachment feels like commitment, but ancient systems saw it clearly. Unchecked attachment becomes suffering. You don't just act. You carry the weight of every possible outcome with you, and that weight compounds. Action without attachment isn't cold. It's disciplined. It allows effort without self-punishment, learning without ego, progress without panic. That's why this idea has survived thousands of years. Not because it's ancient, but because it's human. If you've noticed this tension in your own life, you don't need to explain it perfectly. Just recognizing it is already a shift. Action without attachment isn't about doing less. It's about carrying less. When you stop dragging outcomes into the present moment, your actions become cleaner, your learning becomes faster, and your mind becomes quieter. If you felt this tension in your own life, don't rush to fix it. Just notice where your responsibility ends and where it never really began. Action without attachment isn't about doing less. It's about carrying less. If this felt familiar, you don't need to fix anything right away. Just notice where your responsibility ends and where it never really began. I appreciate you taking the time to sit with this. God bless you all.